Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently with that price action and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord guys, what are you waiting for? Check it out, link is in the description down below. Let's jump right down into the video here for Bitcoin then. So here we have a BTC paired up with USDT. We're using the BitGet spot exchange on the 1 hour time frame. And if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, what are you waiting for? Check out the affiliate link in the description down below. I say it pretty much all the videos nowadays. It's always great to have access to more exchanges than not. You never know what's going to happen in a bull market, whether your favorite exchange goes down and so forth. It's always great to have a backup. Now, personally, BitGet is my main go-to exchange, and other exchanges like Binance, etc., are my backups. So I use BitGet for pretty much 90 to 95% of all my spot trades and 100% of my leverage trading as well. Not only are there some fantastic sign-up rewards up to $8,000, but it's just an easy, well built out platform. So why not check it out? The affiliate link is in the description below. So this is the BitGet data, so we can see what's going on. And because I use BitGet for my trading, it's great to do the analysis on BitGet as well. Okay, so this may be different on different exchanges. So this is really just specific to BitGet. And so do make sure that you sign up to BitGet in the link in the description below. Let's go ahead and check this out, right? So if we're following on from yesterday's price movements, right, we can see that we hit our target range. We're talking about a move up towards 29,364 to 29,444. Okay, this is just above that 200 EMA and equilibrium. We can see here it's a three-wave pattern that completes and we start to move on down. So our next expectation is to move down quite aggressively. However, nothing moves in straight lines and we need to consider the fact that we're probably going to be pushing and testing the 200 EMA and equilibrium probably one more time. Let me show you why that is. If I go down to a 15-minute time frame here, just clear out all the noise, you can kind of see that we have our correction coming down here. It's quite an easy one, right? So we have a three-wave pattern here. And I don't think this is terribly too unusual. I think it's kind of where it needs to be, but it'll just do the sense check anyway. So a little bit short of the one-to-one, but considering it's an internal wave, I'm not too concerned. Here we can see we've also pushed back up, testing this 15-minute in equilibrium and 200 EMA, but I do suspect that we probably are going to be looking at pushing up a little bit further, probably going to be testing this slightly higher range here. Okay, so the way I see this is something more to this effect here. So we'll look for this little mini correction inside this structure. Okay, now if I bring this back to our 1 hour, there's nothing terribly too unusual about what's going on in the smaller time frame there. It looks like, yeah, we're going to be progressing quite nicely towards our target range. So now we've topped out up here, we can be predictive over where we think that next structure is going to be, where it's going to bottom out. So if we take a look at this, we can see we've got the high position here at 29,417, 425. Okay, so 425 is what we're looking for. So I'm just going to move our Fibonacci retracement tool here just to the wick high over here that's on this origin. You can see it was just a little bit deeper. And so it's basically 29,425.74. Okay, so I'm just going to go put that right there. So now that I know that that's exactly on the right wick, we can go ahead and review where we think the price action is going to be. It's going to come down here a little bit deeper than maybe we were initially kind of hoping. But we can see we got a bit of a move to the downside, 28,093 to 28,342. Okay, if I zoom out of this and then just put my C wave down there, you can see that that is the target range for our three-wave pattern. Now, down here you can see that this would basically chew through this first fair value gap, and there's a few more fair value gaps also. There's actually a fair amount of these things that have been stacked up. We've grabbed out all the others so far, so these are the ones that we're just gradually working our way down towards. So yeah, for the most part on our hourly time frame here, we can see that that's kind of the target range and that's kind of what we're looking for. But I suspect it's going to be quite choppy. I don't think it's going to be a straight line drops or anything like that. I suspect that we're probably going to be, you know, kind of just bouncing around a little bit. We'll probably have something like this occurred initially, which will look like a 3-3-3 structure. And I think essentially what that'll do is it will give us the idea of a bigger three-wave pattern in play, something like this. And then we'll from here have probably another bounce to the upside. So we can kind of see another kind of small move up and then finishing this off with that final move like that. Okay, so I think it's going to take some time. It's not something that we're going to see instantaneously, anything like that. I suspect it's going to take a fair amount of time. It won't happen over the weekend or anything like that. I suspect it's going to be probably a really long, drawn-out, boring weekend. Specifically on the Saturday. Sunday might be a little bit more volatile for the weekly close and things like that. But for the most part, I suspect it's probably just going to be quite a boring move as we slowly work our way sideways until we get into next week, where we talk about the bigger moves to the downside. Could be wrong, but typically that's how the weekends tend to go at the moment. So when we start taking a look at this on the daily time frame, you can see that we did get that breakout. Okay, and all we're really doing now is looking to test our trend line here, turn it into a support line. This hasn't really been very strong at the moment, so we're keeping a close eye on that. We've still got the lower highs and lower lows, so at some point we are still looking for that breakup and break out to the upside. It hasn't happened yet, not at the major style. All we've really done is break out of this descending triangular wedge, and so we are still looking for that break upwards a little bit here. So yeah, I guess it's all still to play for on BTC. Just kind of taking a little bit longer than maybe expected. I did say the other day, as time progresses, it's getting harder and harder to see the 35K. However, we had a nice correction down here on the stochastic daily RSI. So yeah, I think maybe we have potential. We'll have to see how the formations of the structures start to come out over the next little while. From a weekly time frame though, we are still just slap bang between these two trend lines. It's a very strange place for a reversal that's occurred. I still suspect we are in bear market rallies, and we are doing the bearish thing at the moment, which are higher highs and higher lows, which will have a tendency to wanting to break on down. At the moment, we do not have any major structures. So if we reflect on where we were previously, right, we have these kind of patterns here, which are very, very strong moves to the upside. And you can see it right here. When we get these big reversals in the market, they're very, very strong, right? You can even see one right in here. Okay, very aggressive in the way that they've moved to the upside. Instead, what we've got going on here is this kind of overlappy corrective pattern, and this is a short-term move. These are not strong, impulsive, trend-based bullish movements. Okay, these are basically just very short-term corrective ones. Now, short-term, and when I say short-term, what I mean is not trend. It's not a trend in an upward direction. Okay, so the short-term idea is basically it's a move in a particular direction that is short-term in relation to the actual trend, which is to the downside. Now, for our move to the downside here, we had that initial kind of really steep movement over here and here, and then we kind of got this really choppy one right at the end. Okay, so it can be complete. It doesn't have to go down, but I suspect we probably are likely to come down and test this low trend line at some point in the future. So I think it's going to be one of those that we have to keep a close eye on. So I think, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Just a brief update on BTC and where I think things are at the moment. If you found it useful and informative, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you haven't yet joined us down in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is in the description down below. Until the next one, though, guys, have a fantastic day.